Priorities and challenges in data generation. So as you know, at Zimstat, we are deeply committed to ensuring that Zimbabwe is equipped with the relevant, reliable, and timely data that is needed to propel national development. We are also committed to ensuring that the country achieves its twin ambitions of becoming the upper middle income economy by 2030 and realizing the Sustainable Development Goals, which is Agenda 2030. At the core of Vision 2030 and Agenda 2030 is one indispensable asset, and this is data. Data is more than just figures on a spreadsheet. It is the foundation of evidence-based policy making, the lens through which we track our progress, and the basis upon which we shape a better future for our country. Let me also hasten to say we also rely on international standards when we produce statistics. One of them is the United Nations Fundamental Principles of Official Statistics, which stipulates that data must be accurate, data must be reliable, production of data must be impartial, and data must be produced timely so that it is relevant for the purpose of which it is produced. We also rely on the African Charter of Statistics. We also rely on the SADC Protocol on Statistics, as well as COMESA statutes on production of statistics. Ladies and gentlemen, let me highlight that we are also guided by the Census and Statistics Act when we produce statistics for the country. And the mandate of Zimstat, according to the Census and Statistics Act, includes, number one, to conduct population census and other censuses and surveys. I'm sure you have heard we have produced the economic census results, which we have disseminated on the 23rd of July. Number two, we are responsible for coordinating and supervising the national statistical system. The national statistical system is comprised of data providers. When we go to carry out surveys and censuses, the people who respond to our questions are the data providers. And in the national statistical system, we also have data producers. Central to this is Zimstat. We lead the production of statistics. However, there are other data producers within the national statistical system. These include, for example, government ministries, other government agencies like Reserve Bank produce official statistics. Then we have data users within the national statistical system. Data users include policymakers, we have academia, we have researchers, we have individual households who use the data that are produced. So as Zimstat, we are central to the coordination and supervision of the national statistical system.
At the global level, the United Nations is deeply committed to harnessing the power of data as a transformative enabler to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, by 2030. To answer that same question, this commitment is anchored in the United Nations Secretary General's landmark strategy on data, entitled Data Strategy for Action by Everyone, Everywhere for Insight, Impact, and Integrity. This strategy was launched in 2020, and the strategy envisions that the entire United Nations system, I have my colleagues here, should be fully engaged, and they should leverage data for smarter decision-making, stronger support to people and planet, and more inclusive development where and when it matters most. And if you say when and where it matters most, we all know the mantra of where it matters most, that leaving no one behind. That is the foundation of the data agenda that the UN has placed and anchored on that blueprint document. The strategy has 7 key pillars. The first pillar, stronger cross-pillar decision-making and thought leadership. Pillar number 2, greater data accessibility and sharing internally and externally. Number 3, improved governance and impact and collaboration and integrity. 4, robust data protection and privacy and respect for human rights. 5, greater efficiency in programs, operations, and management. 6, improved transparency within and across the UN family. And lastly, enhanced data-driven services for clients and stakeholders. Those are the 7 areas of focus that underpin this global strategy of the United Nations when it comes to data at the global level.